Hi, I'm Phil,
And I'm Steven.
and you've got a box tucked away under there, haven't you?
Yeah, probably one of the hottest models of 2025 so far.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
The
no, no.
Accurascale Class 60.
It's a very impressive package already, isn't it?
No, it
Uh,
feels like it's quality in there already from that box.
Go on then, what's in the box then?
Let's have a look. Let's slide off this plastic cover. There we go. That's off.
It's actually, I was going to say, for a big loco, it's not actually a big Accurascale box. I have one of their P classes, and it's about the same size box.
They've got a big job. Let's take the lid off.
Now, this is something that's notable. It feels really nice. The packaging feels really nice. I know people are going to say it doesn't matter because you throw the packaging in the bin very quickly after you've taken the loco out.
Well, I mean, that's one of the questions. These boxes are huge, and I know a lot of modelers do keep the boxes,
Mm.
but where do you store them all?
Well,
Put it in the
it is.
comments below because I'd be
Yes,
really keen to know where all these boxes get stored.
certainly interesting. And I think also the packaging, these are not cheap models.
No.
Let's not mess around. These things cost money. And so you actually want the pleasant experience of taking it out of the box. So as much as anything, the unboxing is important.
I think you're absolutely right on that, Phil.
So the feel of the box is really nice. I know this is not that uncommon. And now we have a bag full of instructions and stuff. Let's have a quick look. Um, yes, you must read the instructions on the reverse of this card. So you turn the card around, it says you must read the instructions on the reverse of the card. You could be all day doing this, couldn't you?
But there are some important instructions on that card.
Right. Okay. You've read them, haven't you?
I have.
Oh, that's all right then. You've been paying attention. We have the driver's manual, which
Looks very smart.
it does look very strong. Again, what's really noticeable, there's a lot of history in here. So we've got a lot of information about how the 60s operated, where they operated, um, and how they were used. So you can learn a lot about it. We have some stuff for your DCC stuff here, telling you what all the what all the settings are. Oh, it's not double sided. They're handily on a card so that you can actually pin this up while you can't remember what all the settings are. So I'll be testing you. What is OGS 5? It's obviously the tail. It's obviously the tail light front.
Yeah, and that is because lots of different DCC locos, and the functions do vary across them.
Yes, and I think that's quite useful.
Yeah.
You've got a card you can pin up, and here's some instructions to read before the first time. And I quite like this, an exploded diagram showing how your loco comes apart.
See all the different many thousand or hundreds of bits in it.
Yeah, and I think that's quite important. That the reason modern ready to run is pricey is because you've got all these bits here. There's an awful lot of bits that have got to be assembled to make up one of these locos. The days of everything being on a Ginty chassis are long gone. Right, more foam,
Mm.
and finally we find the plastic clamshell full of loco.
Yes, it's nicely presented here. You can see it. It's all about building that experience of taking it out of the box.
And also making sure that it arrives in one piece.
Yes,
I'm
because
pretty certain you could chuck this box down the stairs and you'd still have a working loco.
I'm not going to try though.
I don't know. I'm thinking about that for reviews now. Perhaps you should spend more time throwing things downstairs.
It's held very tightly, which is what you need when you're shipping things. Put that away.
Right, and now we've got some more bits. These would appear to be
Little
etched,
edges.
etched nameplates and BR crest. You probably can't see them on the camera, but we've got etched nameplates and BR arrows of indecision in the little packet.
Another accessory pack that is full of all the cables and an alternative set of buffer beams. So if you're going to use it on display, or if you're only going to connect things up to one end, you've got a cosmetic one with a nice screw link coupling. It's a nice touch.
That is a nice touch, actually, because I remember the good old days in having to take off the coupling and then rebuild chunks of the buffer beam to hang all the pipes on. Because it wasn't uncommon for people just to run, if you run it one-ended, effectively, you want all the pretty stuff on the end and a working coupling on the back end. Right.
Let's undo this.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah. Do you want to feel the weight of that, Phil? That's
That's a heavy old beast, that one, isn't it?
825 grams.
Wow. Um, that is a heavy loco. Now we've got the version, we've got both couplings on the ends. Interestingly, they've gone for clear plastic for the coupling loops.
I noticed that. Yeah, it is interesting. I'm sure lots of people have their own thoughts on that. Personally, I preferred if they're all black myself.
I think I'd prefer that, but I can see why they've gone down that route because the traditional tension lock coupling is not a beautiful thing, is it? But it does work, and it is standard, and it's too late to do anything about it. So the alternative couplings, I think that's a clever idea. I'd be interested to see that on a layout when you've actually got something buffered up to it. I suspect that at the moment on a black table, we can see them quite clearly. I suspect on a layout when they're buffered up and they're underneath and in shadow, they may be a good deal less obvious, and it probably works better as
I think you're quite
there.
right, Phil. And when they're running, you won't notice them at all.
This is in the coal sector markings.
Yeah, so this is from early 1990. So this model would have, the real life version of this would have run in this from about 93 to 94.
Right, so it's actually a really narrow time frame, isn't it?
That's it, because then all the sectorization ended, and I think was it EWNS then came along and took it over. They ran in the grey, the triple grey colour scheme. That stayed around for ages. They just took off the sectorization, painted over that bit, and then was it they just put big T's on the side? Was it Transrail or something came along? Or
You're going to lose me now because it's like
there'll be
it got
experts that
really confusing.
it certainly did. But the detail, and I'm just looking into the cab there, and I can see seats, control panels. It's
It's all
all there.
painted. That's what gets me is it's all painted cab detail in there now, because it's not just a single color molding. There's a lot of work gone into the cab detail. The glazing looks nicely flush. The overall effect is very good. Now I am suspecting that somewhere around here, look at that. Look at that. I know about DCC. No, there's how you get at the chips. And great access.
It's really useful to if this one's obviously comes sound fitted, but if you want to fit a chip yourself, there's nothing worse than having to take the body off, especially with all the detail that you've on there. It's challenging for a lot of modelers. But the fact that you can just unclip that part, in fact, it's magnetic.
Yeah.
And then just plug your chip in, put it on.
You can see the magnets underneath, and pop it back on, and there we are. It's done. And it is a regular complaint we see on our own web is people saying, I don't know how to get into locos, or they're really challenging to get into to do the chips. But the chips have got more complicated, so it's a challenge for the manufacturers, and that's a very neat solution.
There is quite complex electronics that's in it because this is all illuminated. The cab lights up. In here, you won't really be able to see on camera, but I'll show here. You can actually see inside through those grills. You can see the engine room. You can see all the inner workings, and that is all illuminated.
Wow, yes, there's a lot of depth going on there in looking through that grill, that etched grill. Again, I come from the days where you'd got a moulded grill and you'd have to scrape that off and put an etched grill in its place.
It wasn't long ago that the diesel that was just chunky moulding on the side that you kind of filled in with black paint or something and try to give the illusion.
I think this is how ready to run has changed.
Yeah.
Yes, it's costing you more money, but the level of detail, the work that goes into one of these things now is quite incredible.
I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of investment to do the design work, do the tooling, and to get one of these from concept onto our layouts.
Oh, it's a pleasure to get our hands on one.
Before we give 60092 a run, the full review is featured in the November issue of BRM. You can also win this model by following the link, using the QR code, and entering a competition by the 30th of November 2025.